How you doing? My name is Robert Sisca. I'm the executive chef here at Bistro Midi. Today I'm going to prepare a grilled Mediterranean sea bass with a little bit of Confit fennel. First, we're going to start out with grinding some spices. We have some toasted fennel seed, some toasted anise seed, and a little bit of peppercorns. We're going to put about 2 parts of the fennel seed to 1 part of the anise seed, and about only a couple peppercorns, not too much, they're a little stronger. So again, they're all toasted. Put them right in the spice grinder. After it's finally ground, this is what you have. All right, now we're going to do the Confit fennel. First, a nice rondeau. Take about 2 quarts of water. You're going to bring this to a boil with a little bit of rosemary, some thyme, a zest of orange and lemon, about a cup of Pernod, a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, some fine sea salt, and some pepper. Now this is enough liquid to do, say, 2-3 bulbs of fennel, but since we're just going to prepare a dish for one, we're just going to add, this is about 3/4 of a bulb of fennel. Add your fennel. So again, this is enough liquid for maybe 3 or 4 bulbs sliced thin, about a 1/4 inch thick, and then cook this for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the fennel. And then after it's fully cooked, we'll pull it out of the liquid, we'll let it dry, and then we'll sear it. So now we're going to marinate the sea bass. Usually I like to pull my fish out 10 to 15 minutes before I cook it, so it's nice and tempered. You know, if you don't temper your fish, a lot of times you'll cook, the outside will be overcooked and then the inside won't be fully cooked. By pulling it out 15 minutes before you cook it, this allows the inside to be warm and not overcooked. So here we have a sea bass. I just pulled it out of the fridge, so I'm going to marinate it. Just wait, it'll marinate for about 15 to 20 minutes prior to cooking it. So first we'll take a little splash of brandy. Any brandy is fine, you don't have to use anything super expensive. A little salt. The spice mix we made earlier. We already have pepper in this, so we don't need to add any pepper to the fish. We'll flip it over, always season both sides. A little brandy again. Salt. Make sure you evenly season each side of each piece of the fish. This is a little thinner, so you want to go a little less on seasoning. As for the thick part, you want to go a little heavier. So now the fish is marinated. We'll let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, let it marinate, and we're going to make the sauce vierge while we wait for the fish to marinate. So I supreme some oranges and some lemons, and then I dice them up. So do about a half orange, a half a lemon, some salt, again a little bit of that fish spice that we made earlier, some fresh basil. Nicely diced, I mean a little bigger than diced, not too small, because you don't want to lose the flavor. And some extra virgin olive oil. This will help cut out the acidity from the lemon and the orange. And that's our sauce vierge. And once the fish is marinated, we'll be ready to grill it. So here's our fennel after being cooked. It actually took 30 minutes. I left it a little al dente, a little bit you may say, or a little undercooked, because now I'm going to pan sear it, and I don't want it to be mush when we go to eat it. Depending on your personal preference, you can cook it all the way and then sear it. I like to have a little bit of texture to balance out with the grilled fish, because the grilled fish will be soft with crispy skin, and now you have a little bit of texture in your fennel. So now I'm going to take a nice hot pan, add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, nice and hot. Make sure your oil is nice and hot, but make sure your fennel is dry. You don't want to add any water to the pan. There will be a little water that's going to come out here anyway. Your flame is off now. Again, if you want to dry one more time before you drop it down. Now once you put it down, turn your flame back on. You don't want to add the fennel while the flame is on, because you could flambe and get a little flame, and that will burn your oil and it'll give you a bit of a scorched, burnt flavor. I'll add a little salt and pepper to it. And the spice. A little bit of rosemary and thyme. Just check the color. This one's getting a little more color than the other one, so we're going to flip this one, and this one still needs a little more time. So we're going to cook them maybe about a minute to 2 minutes on each side, depending on the thickness and how hot your pan is. Basically, you want to achieve the color what you're looking for. All right, now we got the color that we're looking for on both sides. Don't forget to season both sides. Rosemary, thyme, and the fish spice. So now the fennel is fully cooked. The color we're looking for, it's seasoned. So now let's grill the fish. So now our fish has been marinated for 15 minutes. It's not too cold. It's not warm. This way it's tempered. So now we can grill it. Put a little oil on the fish, just so it doesn't stick to the grill. This grill is very, very hot. You know, if it's not that hot, it could very easily stick. And then we can just drop the fish, give it a little bit of push so it doesn't curl up all the way. This Mediterranean bass is a little forgiving. It doesn't curl up as much as if you were to say do black sea bass or a different fish. So we're going to do about, maybe a minute on each side. This grill is very hot. Just to get some nice grill marks on it, push down a little bit to concentrate each side. Remember, this grill is hotter up front than it is down here, so that's why I put the head piece up top, because it's thicker here and it's thinner down here. We want to try to achieve even cookedness throughout the whole fish. Otherwise, you have overcooked fish and then undercooked fish. So now you got nice grill marks on the one side. Now we flip it over. We're trying to finish it on the flesh side. If the fish was any thicker, we would probably have to go into the oven for about 2 minutes, but because it's not too thick of a fish, we can easily finish it on the grill. All right, so now I flipped it over. The fish has been about 2 more minutes on this side, and it's fully cooked. So we plated the fennel on the left, put our sea bass down to the right. And this was the sauce Vierge we made earlier with the supremed oranges, lemons, basil, and a little bit of fish spice. So now we'll put a little bit just right on top. A little bit of that marinated oil as well. Yeah. So we have grilled Mediterranean sea bass with Confit fennel and sauce Vierge.